Well, g'day everybody from North Lighting here with Sam Wicks, whom we have been praying for and following his journey with cancer for the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months or so. And you're now on the tail end of that journey in a good way, which is good to hear. And we thought it'd be great to do a bit of an update and give Sam a bit of a platform to say thank you to everyone. Sam, thank you for sharing earlier in your journey how hard it was for you. How's it going for you now? How's the health side of things for you at this stage of the year?
Yeah, hey Baz, and hey everyone. It's great to join you, although virtually. Yeah, look, I thankfully, some of you may know already, but thankfully, yeah, I got the news a number of weeks ago now. I had my final scan and was told that I'm now in remission, which is exciting. So what that means basically is that the stuff that was in my chest and other areas has been resolved or cleared up. They say it's melted away, which is an interesting way of looking at it. And so, yeah, now I'm sort of on the other side of that. It's taken a couple of weeks to process all that information. There's a lot of medical stuff to sort of get your head around. But yeah, look, I'm at this stage, I've got a couple more rounds of what they call immunotherapy, which is really just, it's not, I don't think it's the chemo drug, but it's just something which I'm able to have as part of my recovery plan, when I've got 2 more rounds of that to go. So I've had one at the start of July and I've got one at the end of July, and that's just an infusion to sort of get rid of anything that's left over there. So hopefully not too much. And yeah, so I'm in the middle of that now. Enjoying being in lockdown. Not. It's okay though. I'm really kind of thankful that I get to sort of stay away from all the germs out there. Unfortunately, my immune system is still pretty low, so I'm sort of happy to be bunkered down now and yeah, just sort of recovering and trying to grow my hair back. I've got hair probably like this big at the moment on my legs and arms, and probably even less on my head, but it's getting there. It's looking blonde. I've got a bit of a moustache going as well, so I'm getting there, back to the normal seedy self. But it's good. It's been a good few weeks.
It's a re-strengthening time for you at the moment by the sounds of it. And I think you were telling me earlier you can't have your COVID vaccine because you're still immuno low. So I guess that's coming. What are your plans for reintegrating back into life? I guess work is the big one there, but how's that looking?
Yeah, look, it's a funny one, wrapping my head around getting back into work and life, etc. I think at this stage, the plan is hopefully to get back into work part-time at the start of August. That's the kind of the goal, I guess, and sort of integrate back in slowly. So starting off part-time, hopefully, and yeah, with a view to kind of getting back into full-time work by the end of the year. I think that the thing is that I've got to be mindful that I'm probably going to be a bit more tired more easily, and although I'm sort of in recovery now, I'm not fully recovered, if that makes sense. So I've still got a few months where I'll be yeah, just sort of learning the ropes again, getting back into work and that sort of thing. So that's kind of the goal. I'm pretty excited about going back to work. It's a sort of one of those mundane routine things which you kind of get sick of when you're in the middle of, but once you sort of stop doing it or you have a break from it for an extended period of time, and you do miss it a little bit. And so I'm excited for the normality of that and getting back into seeing people that I haven't seen in a while. So yeah, I think all that stuff, I'm pretty excited. Although the full-time hours, maybe not so excited. I'll have to miss out on a few of those longer episodes Netflix I've been doing.
You know you'll be well again when you're wanting to leave work and get home again. So I
exactly.
suppose.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's really good. Actually, we're thankful for that. What are the lessons you've learned? I guess the spiritual ones particularly, but what has God taught you through this? Your church was praying for you. So many people who you probably haven't met even were praying for you, and God has answered our prayers, and we give thanks to God for that. So there's no doubt a huge thankfulness. But what are the things you're taking away from this at this stage anyway of this spiritual side of this journey?
Mm. Yeah, look, it's a good question, and something which I've sort of been reflecting on a fair bit actually recently. I think, look, one of the main ones is I really, really do think that prayer is such a powerful tool, and such a important way in which, as Christians, we live our lives, and it's such an important part of our Christian journey. I think, I really think that, I was saying to Baz earlier, I've had so many people, as you've mentioned, who have come up to me and who I don't know myself, but have said, mate, I've been praying for you every Monday for the last 4 or 5, 6 weeks or whatever, and people that I do know as well, and it's just been epic. I mean, you think, oh my goodness, how good is this? And I think the big reflection is that, prayer is powerful, and I really think that God heard all those prayers which people were praying, and he moved in that way. And, thankfully, it's meant that I've been able to get into recovery. And so, yeah, but I think the other thing is, as I was sort of preparing for the final scan and getting my head into, what the results could be, and, it was a little bit uncertain. I think preparing myself for the possibility that the outcome may not be what I was hoping for, and just sort of thinking, well, if that's the case, then does that mean that God hasn't heard all those prayers, or that, or if he has, he's choosing to ignore them, or whatever. But I think one of the other things I've learned is that, God's ways aren't our ways, and God is in control of my situation. And I think I'd known that earlier, but I think it really came home to me as I was sort of getting myself mentally prepared for the final results. And I think that was a real comfort to me, because I thought, this is totally out of my hands. I can't actually control the outcome of this. If it's great news, that's awesome. If it's bad news, well, God's still God, and he's still in charge, and he knows everything about me, and he knows everything in my future. And I think that, look, I think the big thing to sort of, for me, is that I've learned to grow dependent on God, and learned to really rely on him, on his strength, and not my strength. And I think that the reality for me now is that there'll be a number of years now where this thing that I've had could come back. It could rear its head again. But I know that, even if it does, God is still there. He still loves me. He's still powerful. And that's so good. I mean, that's a great comfort. And I think that, that's one of the other things I've really learned to, during this time, I think. Yeah.
That's tremendous. I mean, what a way to learn that lesson for, deeply, but that's a great lesson for us all to learn. And you're also telling me about the value and the joy of Christian community. What's your take there?
Oh, totally. Look, as I mentioned earlier, the number of people that, in my life that have been sort of supporting me throughout this journey has been quite incredible. And I think that for me, as you mentioned, Baz, the Christian community is just an absolutely unbelievable thing. It's an unbelievable thing that God's given us, a gift that God's given us to enjoy and to use. And, and I think for me, one of the huge things has been when Christian community works well, it's just a great blessing. And, I've received a lot of messages the last few months, from people, ranging from people that I hadn't met since primary school to, my closest family and friends. And I think the standout thing for me has just been the assurance in the messages of comfort that Christians can provide, as opposed to messages that maybe don't have that assurance. And that's not to say that non-Christians, can't provide a level of encouragement. I've had lots of amazing, great messages from people who aren't Christians, but just the fact that I've been able to receive messages saying, hey, mate, I know what you're going through is tough, but let me tell you, I'm praying for you. And here's a verse that's encouraged me, and I hope this encourages you, has just been, some of the most encouraging messages I've received. And so I guess I wanted to say, that's been a huge blessing to me and my family as well. I'm just so grateful that I've been able to experience the joy of Christian community. And I hope that, once everything kind of gets better now, I'll be able to contribute to that community. And I'm hopeful that, if I have a friend or someone that I know going through something similar, that I'd be able to give them even half of what I've been given, and that would be awesome. So yeah, I think that's another big thing, Baz. Yeah, I've been very, very thankful for that. Yeah.
I think that's just wonderful. You've been such an inspiration to so many. You encouraged myself and my family when you turned up to my daughter's wedding with a chemo bag over your shoulder, so to speak, and that was just amazing. It's been wonderful to see your faith grow stronger during this. So your church is still behind you, and we're still praying for you. So thank you for sharing this story with us. Is there anything you want to say in closing before I ask everyone? We'll pause the video so it doesn't go too long, and I'll ask everyone to pray. But anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say to everyone out there who's watching this and has been praying for me and for my family, or even just those people that have sent text messages or made meals, etc. Just thank you. Your support has just been, you know, incredible, and I can't really put into words what it's meant. I think it's taken a huge burden off my family in lots of ways. It's taken my mind off things in lots of ways as well, and I really just want to say thank you. God's been good to me during this time, and he's been good through people like you. And I'm very, very, very thankful for all the support and love and care and compassion. And, going to church every now and then when I could was just the biggest boost to the week that I could have. Seeing everyone there, people, even though they wanted to go for the big hug, and I just sort of say, oh, hang on, just slow down. Even those sort of things, it's just been a huge encouragement. So, to all the community, thank you so much. I've got a long road ahead, but it's comforting knowing that I've got a community like St. Matt's Northlight who can walk alongside me. So thank you very much.
Good on you, Sam. Let us know when we can give you that big hug. We'll love that permission. Thanks for joining us, and I do encourage all of you just now to pause and give thanks to God for his answer to our prayers in Sam's life. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Baz.